Hey everybody, this is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective, and this is episode number 48, so I'm getting really excited because we're getting very close to 50. I always start my podcast off by thanking the people that make this podcast possible, which is Jennifer Smitis, the Area Vice President, both Caitlin Kornick and Debony, the escrow officers here in the Sugar Land office, and Wendy Santana in the Richmond office, as well as our processors and our assistants and front desk. Everybody's involved. Everybody's important. I also want to say that if you're watching this podcast and you want to be a guest on the show, give me a call, 832-654-0527. The only thing I ask is make sure that you operate in the Fort Bend County area. You're an agent or a vendor in the Fort Bend County area. Or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. And I'll be happy to put you on the calendar. Raj here will tell you that it's going to be a while before you get here, but I'll put you on the calendar. So this is episode number 48, Kevin's Corner. Let's get started. Most people that I know who this is. All right. This is Raj Seth, real estate agent extraordinaire from the Seth Brothers. Mm-hmm. Say hi to Raj.
Hello, my fans.
Exactly. They're your fans. So I met Raj the first time I ever met you. You actually crashed a WCR bowling event.
Yep. I was hoping you'd remember our first meeting.
Of course, yes. And it was funny because he was there, and it was a sign because one of my team members bailed on me.
Yep.
And I asked you if you would sit in, and you were like, of course. And, he beat everybody.
It pays to be available. It pays to be a free agent or a real estate agent at the right time.
Be at the right place at the right time.
Right time, right place, yeah.
So we did the bowling thing, and then I think I chased you for a couple of months, maybe a phone call here, a text here, whatever. Yep. And then I ran into you at the Seth Brothers office, correct?
Correct. Well, I mean, we would run into each other at WCR events. We're both members.
Oh, I know what it was.
Yeah.
I ran it, or Sonnet ran into me.
Yes.
At a HAR event that I was sponsoring.
That's what it was.
And he walked in the door and he goes, I'm supposed to call you, aren't I? I'm like, not anymore. Come here. And he invited me.
Right place, right time.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he invited me to your team meeting.
Yep.
That next Thursday, and I did. And then
that was at the new building.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
You guys hadn't figured out how to cover the windows up, so everybody was sweating.
Yes.
During the heat wave.
But just so you know, the Seth has figured out how to cover up the windows. So if you want to book it, get in touch with me.
Exactly.
713-487-7889.
Check that out. He's directing this, not me. And so then we just kind of, go from there. Now we know each other and work together and see each other. So tell everybody, who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. Well, first, Kevin, I want to just thank you for having me on this podcast. Mm-hmm. I got a text from Kevin December 11th, 2023. And he's like, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? And I'm thinking, all right, maybe first of the year or something like that. Then you're like April 19th. Yeah. And I'm like, I paused. I opened up my calendar app. It was 18 weeks away. Mm-hmm. I'm like, do you already have 18 weeks worth of guests? Yep. And why was I like the 19th person you're giving a call to?
I was still deciding whether or not you should come on the podcast.
All right. Maybe
banking
on that I would bail out or something. No, but I just think, one, the fact that you started making those phone calls way back then and you were able to fill up those number of slots just because, again, what we're here for is how do we expand. How do we get more people to know us, right?
Exactly.
Ultimately.
Getting yourself out there.
Yeah. And then this medium or this venue you've created for us, I could see how 18 people would all say yes in 18 phone calls.
Yeah, it's funny you mention it because when I first started doing this last year in April, I had a waiting list before I even did my first episode.
Fantastic.
So, and again, we talked about this already. I've talked about this on camera. I don't do this podcast for me. I do it for you.
I don't get paid.
No, he actually is telling the truth. He wants to be here, but I do it for my vendor partners and my agent clients. So it gives them another way to promote their business.
Yep. Both of us get in front of other people that we're not in front of right now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Thank you for doing that. Thanks to Stuart Title for allowing us to use one of their many offices in this massive suite they have in Sugarland.
Exactly. If you haven't seen it, you ought to come by.
Yeah.
And I need some more contracts. Got to pay for it. But so tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So again, my name is Raj Seth. I am with the Seth Brothers team. We're brokered by EXP Realty. I've actually been in Houston. It's 5 years this month.
Okay.
Came down from Massachusetts, where I was born, bred, and still represent.
Yeah.
I think we have like 13 championship rings or 17 in the past 25 years.
This is not about that. Go on.
Well, we can diverge a little bit, right? It's part of who I am.
We do have 2, and they're consecutive. So
we did the trash can banging thing also.
Did.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, came down here. I had kind of got into the world of construction and land development just out of school. And joined my dad and his business partner with their small real estate company.
Okay.
And I just fell in love with construction and land development.
Really?
But then you do get to a point.
Were you behind the scenes, or
behind the scenes?
You weren't like out there building the material.
Look at my hands.
Okay,
Look at my fingers, Kevin. I've
pens and paper. No wood and nails.
Cell phone bill at that time. But you do get to a point where as you go through that career, you become like a spreadsheet guy or in the field kind of moving people around guy. And I don't know, neither just called to me really. And,
really?
With my experience with new construction and remodeling and land development, I just feel like I know a home really, really well. So I was in real estate up in Massachusetts for 3 years, had my license there. And then my family and I decided to move down here to be closer to my brother and his family. And I haven't looked back. It's been amazing.
So you got your license here, and you've been an agent ever since.
Yeah.
So what? I always ask agents this question because they always tell me I'll work with anybody, but what kind of real estate do you like to do? Are you a buyer's agent, seller's agent? You work with investors? Are you one of those few that really likes to work with renters?
Yeah. Renters like to work with me. I treat them like $1 million clients, which, again, a little quicker on the let's close this kind of thing. But I think people new to town, I think that's exciting because I like to share my experiences with that arriving into town kind of thing to take a little bit of the edge off of the transition that people are going to. And again, we've both seen just what's happened to Houston real estate in the past 5 years, and with just the amount of people coming in like that. Come on.
Well, moving in, yes. The market's gone up and down, but people moving in straight up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel most connected to those kinds of people because I like to educate. I like to, if I learn something, a little trick or a little hack or a little thing to be aware of that they don't have to figure out like I had to figure out, I want to share it. So I really like helping people, whether it's renters or buyers, people who are relocating to the area. But then I also like to work with people very established and very particular about what they're looking for, because I like to get to know them. I like to get to know their family. And I like seeing homes with them, and then I hear things that the husband and wife will exchange that they hadn't really told me, or even realized it themselves. And then I just like file it away. Right.
Right.
I want to get to the point where, I'm always sending my clients listings. They send it to me also, but I get it right to them. And I want it to be at a point where when I walk into a house, I know that this is the place my clients are going to love. Right.
Awesome.
And I think that only comes with listening. I mean, you have to be an active listener. And you just have to kind of absorb and sometimes connect dots for them, right? Or provide them other dots that, they may not have thought of.
You have to provide different opportunities, different options, but at the same time, try and make sure that you give them what they're looking for.
Correct.
And you can't do that without listening to what they want.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
What part of town do you really like to be the expert?
I live in the Sugarland area. I live in Sugarland. There is a community, Clements Crossing, that is just right. It's like adjacent to Riverstone. And obviously, with our team, the Seth Brothers team, and our new building is in Sugarland at the intersection of 69 and University Ave. That's really home base, headquarters. But again, Houston real estate, you have to go everywhere. So my furthest east is League City. And my furthest north, what's up, Pearland?
Yeah.
And then, you just keep going past Cypress, and I'm sure I've done something up there too.
Anything in the Woodlands or Conroe area?
You know what? We haven't. I've shown in Conroe, but nothing. And I actually, 5 years later, I should go to the Woodlands for the first time. Yeah, haven't done that yet. Really? Yeah,
Well, just make sure that you have your GPS on, because most of the street signs in Woodlands are covered by trees, so you really can't figure out where you're going.
They have trees older than me in Houston.
Oh yeah.
Because when you get to Riverstone,
I've cut a few down off of my property. and guys, I don't know if you caught that. He didn't say his office was at. He said the building. They own their own building. It's the Seth building.
Let's be clear about who they is.
No, your last name's Seth.
No. Hey, my name's on the side of the building. I'm fine with that. Your name's not Mr. Kevin Stewart.
No, it's not.
Not Mr. Kevin Stewart title either. So I'm on the Seth Brothers team. Seth Brothers team were formed by Kunal Seth and Sonat Seth. And very fortunately, I'm Sonat's older brother. So just through their, sheer effort and sweat and sacrifices that they've made while they're both got young growing families, they've just built up this machine and built a building, right? I think it worked out that they had to sign to follow up on their option on the land. They signed the contract on the land the third week in March 2020. So we all kind of remember what was going on then. And
right. COVID and all that stuff. Yeah.
So everyone's like, what are you guys doing? Signing
the world's ending and you're spending.
Everyone is moving away from offices.
Yes.
And now we've seen that and everyone felt it. But they were just like, well, we've got a different idea. So, it's been incredibly successful. We actually just hosted a happy hour or an after party for our big EXP regional rally conference that was held at Sweetwater Country Club. 250 EXP agents all over the Houston area, some from San Antonio, Austin. The CEO, Glenn Sanford, came in. The Franklin team was there. A lot of big teams that have really, really made an impact in the area. Yeah. So, yeah.
And are you guys actively looking for agents to join your teams?
We are.
Or your brokerage?
Yes. Yeah. I think what is exciting, and, we go to these conferences like Inman Conference or, EXP conferences, and we're learning even more so how the market's changed, how important it is to align yourself not only with the right brokerage, but the right collaborative group.
Right.
And, we are very fortunate that we're under like one of the strongest trees in EXP. The guys knew the Franklin team since they started. The Franklin team switched over to EXP. We switched over to EXP. And that's really what that business serves or the building serves. It's like that gathering place for a virtual brokerage because we're still people.
And there's been a few agents that are with your particular brokerage that have been on this podcast.
Oh yes. Yeah. Brandon Dennis
and what's his partner's name? I can't remember.
Daryl.
Daryl. That's
yes.
it. Daryl Anderson. So
I think the brokerage somehow, some way, it continues to grow, right? Despite
Darla Austin.
Oh, there you go.
She's been here too. So
we should have like a ranking of how many EXP agents you've had or different brokerages.
Exactly.
But I just think what's exciting about that brokerage is that it's kind of flipped the script. Right? It has gotten away. It's not anywhere close to like a franchise model, right?
Right.
It's not like you buy an EXP zip code and that's it, right? No one else can kind of come there and set up and do work. It's just one big brokerage. And what it allows for is it's a virtual brokerage, right? And we made it a point to create a space where people in our collaborative group can gather. But I just think that the model works. Not only there's like 3, probably even more pillars of income streams. And I think as we are kind of just looking to spread our, ability and efforts, not only can you just earn a career and earn a living from just doing stuff you do every day, like real estate transactions, but there also is an entire pillar of recruiting. And there's revenue share with that, not profit share.
Right.
Profit share is
different.
It's the word that we all point at when people start talking about revenue share.
Exactly.
They'll be like, "Oh, profit? No."
You get a piece of whatever comes in, not just what
exactly.
after we pay the bills.
Yeah. And then also there's, stock equity. And that's, in a lot of cases, it's just, here's a couple shares. Thanks for doing your first deal. This person you brought in, they just did their first deal. Here's a couple more shares. Happy anniversary for being with EXP for X years. Here's another couple shares. So it's just, and at this conference that we had Wednesday, and I use this word, it sounds like it would not go into a real estate agent kind of thing, but the brokerage is holistic, right? Like we're all trying to make the company better because then it just brings us all up.
Everybody in the bus is in the right seat.
Yes.
And you're all going in the same direction.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys you're not a typical brokerage. You're not a typical real estate company. You have many, many things of value to offer agents that a lot of your competitors, for the lack of a better word, don't offer.
Yeah.
There are different reasons why people join different brokerages.
Yep.
But if you're looking to be, it sounds like if you're looking to be more than just a real estate agent, and build a business, they might want to talk to you guys.
Absolutely. And I think what we've seen in talking to other people that we meet within EXP, it's not just the brokerage. I mean, the brokerage is like, if you're not part of it, you need to be part of it, but then also how important it is to be in the right collaborative tree, right? Your upline, they call it.
Yeah.
Because that's where you just learn about adding value before you do the ask.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like you're making my life better by us being here right now. And I made your life better because we won at bowling that day.
We're going to talk later about the value coming to me, but that's okay. That's good.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, the way I approach my position here at Stewart Title and what I do for agents is kind of the same thing you guys do. You offer a lot of value.
Yep.
You don't necessarily, let me take you out to dinner, and the next morning I wake up, I see you have a listing at 123 Elm. Can I get the contract?
Yeah.
I don't do that. I provide value for agents to help them grow their business, market themselves, brand themselves.
Yeah.
And in return, they just want to send me business because I helped them.
Exactly. And, that's what comes back to those collaborative groups that we're part of, right? There's our own collaborative group, the Seth Brothers collaborative group. The Franklin team recruited us into EXP. So we just have access to resources. I mean, like, the guys have worked for it a lot, right? They've worked really, really hard. But I mean, the CEO knows my name. There's 90,000 agents in the company, and he knows my name. I mean, I have a really good last name. That helps. Yeah. But I do like to point out that I was a Seth brother before either of them because I'm older.
Yeah, you were the first.
Seth brother the first.
So let's take a little bit of a left or a right turn.
Yeah.
And so marketing wise, I'm a big marketing person. I help agents grow their business. I teach them marketing techniques. What do? You can talk about what you do for your own specific business or what Seth does as a brokerage to market your business and grow.
Yeah. Well, my own personal philosophy, Kevin, is karma. I just sit there.
In karma?
I just sit there and I wait for the phone to ring.
No. You can't do that.
I think the most important thing about marketing and business development is that you're going to be at your best when you're in your most comfortable environment, right? I love this environment. Like, I've always wanted my own podcast, but this takes discipline and effort. I will absolutely show up to yours. If you ever need a repeat guest, I'd love to be your first.
I'll put you on the calendar again before you leave.
All right. 2024, or are we already booking for 2025?
No, 2024. No, I can get you in before Christmas, 2024.
Perfect. You have to put yourself in an area that you're most confident in, because you need to radiate that, right? If you're trying to solicit business and you're in a place or an environment that you're not confident in, that's going to be really, really hard. I'm not saying don't take chances, but I like having events. I like being at events. I like, mingling between people. And
you're a big networking guy.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. So right when everyone still talks about it, it's right as we were kind of coming out of lockdown sometime, people were starting to like go out and about a little bit more. I think it was back to school 2021. I live in a 150 home community. And I just sent out a message on the WhatsApp group that this Friday I'm going to get an ice cream truck, and it's on me. Everybody come on out. And again, it's not just that one event. I mean, I'm very active in the community. They know who I am. I've made sure they know who I am.
It's good.
And through that, you get referrals. You get people just calling you for advice.
Getting involved in the community, doing the ice cream event, all that kind of, what is that called? There's a marketing term for it, and I teach it as a CE class. It's farming.
Farming, thank you.
Yes.
I didn't know there'd be a quiz.
Well, I apologize. By the way, there's going to be a quiz.
All right, good to know. Good to know.
What you're describing is farming.
Yeah. And another, joining the Women's Council of Realtors, right? As part of our brokerage goals is to add value to other people's lives and, share the information and the opportunity that EXP is. So, where do I feel most comfortable? I just felt really, really comfortable when I hung out with some of the top WCR people at an event. I think we were in Fort Worth. It was like the TR event in Fort Worth a couple of years ago. And it's just, again, it's an environment I'm comfortable in. And through that, I feel more comfortable spreading my words and message. So I think farming is really my wheelhouse. Yeah.
It sounds like it. Is there, and by the way, next time you have an ice cream event, let me know.
Got it.
Is there something marketing wise that you would like to do in the future that maybe you're not comfortable with, but it's a goal to get comfortable and do it?
So, and I know you kind of are a whiz at this, and now that I know you offer CE with my license renewal coming up, I might as well hit you up for it. But there is such a importance to consistency in social media branding. Did you hear that?
That's the word.
Yeah.
It's not about now. It's consistency.
Yeah.
You have to.
I know the word, Kevin.
Yeah. I preach it. I mean, agents come to me for help, and I say, I can't teach you anything that's going to get you a lead tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you're consistent at what I'm going to teach you, sooner or later, it will work.
Yeah.
The consistency is the thing that a lot of people they don't do it. They're not consistent.
Again, it's discipline.
Discipline.
And, it is, I'm not just going to do a really interesting social media post once every 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be like tumbleweeds.
3 times a day.
Yeah. Oof. All right. Well,
3 times a day.
Maybe I should get off Facebook
We're
so you don't see me anymore.
Before you leave, and you're my 3rd post for the day.
All right.
Believe me, it's possible and it works.
But it's just, you have to be on top of mind, right?
Exactly. You have to
this
put
Houston
yourself out
market,
there.
you meet a lot of people really quickly, and you just have to make sure that, like people like to go to a certain grocery store, or they have an auto mechanic that they like, or a hair person, like stylist kind of thing.
What are you getting at?
Well, I've heard about them. I don't use them anymore.
Me either, yeah.
But you have to be that professional that people look to you, not only to do business, but just to like, hey, do you know this? Do you know that? And so consistency and then response time. If somebody asks you a question based on you being on their top of their mind, you better be back at it.
You got to get back to
You
them.
have like one shot.
Yeah, exactly. People want instant gratification. They want answers now.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're I agree with you 100%. You have to get yourself out there. You have to be the expert, because people in this business, especially, they do business with people that they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
How are they going to know, like, and trust you if they don't ever see you and they don't ever hear from you?
Yep.
So I completely 100% agree with you.
I also, not to diverge or go back or whatever, I like doing open houses, right? I like doing open houses, and I joke to people that, I'm a wannabe stand-up comedian, but they're not giving out Netflix money anymore. So I'm in real estate. But an open house, any of our team listings always consistently have strong open houses. It's just repetition too, right? It's consistency, it's repetition, which are kind of the same. Maybe I just make the same jokes to every family that comes in, but then you just get better with your timing. Exactly. You find out what works.
It's like practicing guitar. It's like whatever, you have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, and you just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And 6 months to a year later, you're like, wow, I can play that song.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, that's just, I get quicker and quicker and quicker about getting people to trust me. Right.
Very good. So as we wrap up the podcast, if you guys...
Oh, really? We have to? What's the record?
30 minutes. No.
We need people to watch this.
Exactly. No, they're going to watch it because of you, but you've been on for 30 minutes. So,
all right.
You guys watching this podcast, if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for a new home, a new place to park your license, give Raj or somebody at Seth Brothers a call. It's at the very least worth a conversation.
And that's all we're asking people. Do you have interest in learning about an opportunity that could potentially, be beneficial in a very, very long-term scenario? I mean, the thing is with real estate agents, and I've heard this joke, but I like the joke, so I'll say it. We don't really have retirement parties. Yeah, because you kind of just don't stop
Exactly.
being a real estate agent.
You'll be 89 years old with your little pen. And
Yeah,
everything,
it's not
so.
really a retirement party, but it's like a wake. So, anyways.
But if you are at all interested in looking for another place to park your license,
Yep.
give them a call. If you are also looking for real estate, sounds like he can help you with that as well.
I can do it all.
He can do it all.
Nothing against the other 47 guests or something you've had, but
yeah. Plus, we're part of the same club. So.
And we met at a bowling alley, so it was meant to be.
There you go. That's hilarious. So, are you on social media?
I am.
Where they can find you on social media?
On Facebook, I'm Raj Seth, and getting me by phone is usually the best.
What's your phone number?
713-487-7889. Or you can also reach me at Raj at thesethbrothers.com. And whether you want to explore exciting opportunities with joining EXP or joining our team, or you just want to talk about real estate. Clearly, I love talking.
Yeah, no, he does a good job with that. And I will say this, I'm very impressed. He's not the first person to wear a name badge on the podcast. He's the first one to wear a name badge that he made himself.
Yes.
Which is very, very impressive.
Our regular name badges are very small lettering and subtle.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's not going to work. So where's the Sharpie at?
Yeah.
So give me your phone number one more time.
You can get to Raj at 713-487-7889. Thank you.
Awesome. Yes. And thank you for being on the podcast. This has actually been one of the more fun podcasts.
I believe it. I don't think you say that to all the guests.
No, I don't. Everybody's different, but this has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this has been episode number 48 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Again, I got to thank Jennifer Smitis, Caitlin Cornick, Devin, and Wendy Santana, and all the support staff. And if you are watching this and you're an agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area, you want to be on the podcast, call me, 832-654-0527, or shoot me an email at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and I'll put you on the calendar. And I always have to end the podcast with saying, if you need title and you're not using Stewart Title, or especially Richmond or Sugar Land office, shame on you. You will be hearing from me. Thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Thank you.